Hi everyone, and welcome to the first ever Fernby Films video review. Today we are talking about Into the Woods, a film that came out in 2014, directed by Rob Marshall. We're going to take a look at the trailer for those of you who aren't aware of the film or don't know what it's about. So here's the trailer for Into the Woods.
I wish. I wish. I wish.
I wish. You wish to have the curse reversed? Go to the wood and bring me back a cow as white as milk,
These beans carry magic.
the cape as red as blood,
Oh dear, how uneasy I feel.
the hair as yellow as corn, the slipper as pure as gold. Go to the wood!
Into the woods without delay, but careful not to lose the way. Into the woods, who knows what may be lurking on the journey.
Good day, Mr. Wolf.
And what might be in your basket? I must find that girl.
Into the woods and out of the woods, see what's out to get to bring to make to live to go to the festival.
All will come to a happy end.
And only more dark.
Not always.
Princes and castles. Why would you run away?
It's not quite what I expected. Maybe I shouldn't have strayed from the path.
Don't you know what's out there in the world? Someone has to shield you from the world.
It's because of you there's a giant in our midst.
It's not what I wish, it's what you wish.
We have one chance. Don't you see that?
If we're gonna get through this, we're gonna do it together.
You love me. Why did you stray?
I was raised to be charming, not sincere.
Stay a child while you can be a child with me.
So let's talk about Into the Woods. Directed by Rob Marshall. Rob Marshall gave us films like Chicago, movie 9 with Daniel Day-Lewis, and the most recent released Pirates of the Caribbean movie on Stranger Tides. So how about Into the Woods? Well, he's got a fantastic cast, people like Meryl Streep, Chris Pine, Anna Kendrick, Emily Blunt, James Corden, all doing fantastic work in their specific roles, I thought, to a large degree. So the casting is pretty good, the film looks fantastic, the cinematography and everything is amazing, and yet for me something just didn't quite work. With me on the couch to discuss Into the Woods is Michael Kubler from Grey Phoenix Productions. Michael, welcome to you.
Thank you.
Michael, we've talked a little bit before we came on camera today that we were a bit ambivalent about Into the Woods. It's a stage production, a successful stage production. Obviously that's why it's been turned into a film, and yet for some reason the film just doesn't quite work for me. Did it work for you?
Not quite. It felt to me almost like there was an anti-synergy thing that was happening where you've got all of these amazing ingredients. You've got, as you said, a great cast, you've got all of the different stories. You've got Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, Jack and the Beanstalk, Rapunzel, all of that. But just, it's like those ingredients weren't mixed together correctly.
Right.
And it just left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth.
Well, let's talk about the cast of this film, and let's face it, it's a dream cast. If you were a film director, this is the kind of film that you would love to have, the kind of cast that you would love to have in your film. You've got Meryl Streep as the witch, who does well. Now, she was nominated, at the time we were recording this, she was nominated for an Oscar. I'm a bit dubious as to whether that was actually warranted or not. I think it was a bit of a gimme just to say, oh, here Meryl, you're in a film, have another Oscar. She's very good, don't get me wrong. Oscar worthy, not quite convinced.
I would definitely agree with that.
Emily Blunt and Anna Kendrick are the two sticking points in this film for me. My personal opinion is that they were miscast, and if they'd each been playing the other's roles, they would have worked a lot better. I thought their screen style in those roles was just off a bit, and I think if they'd swapped parts, it might have just clicked a lot better for me. It would have worked a lot better for me. I think that's just my opinion, but hey, what else can you say? James Corden, I think, does a terrific job as the baker. You've got who have you got? Tracy Ullman as Jack's mother. Jack and the Beanstalk is part of the story of this. Tracy Ullman, who's a legendary American comic, let's face it. To see her pop up in a film in this particular role was a bit of a what the moment for me. I don't know about you. Lilla Crawford as Little Red Riding Hood. I don't know why filmmakers insist on making Little Red Riding Hood an annoying bitch. In this film, I found her bratty and I found her annoying. She was annoying in the same character was in the film Hoodwinked, which was an animated film, and in that she was uppity and annoying and sort of full of herself as well. But she's a little girl, and she should be full of innocence. That's just my opinion. I thought it kind of worked for the film in this instance, but I'm getting a bit sick of that sort of, that sort of grown-up kind of portrayal of it. See, what did you think? I think it worked in Hoodwink, but it didn't work here. It was, especially with Johnny Depp as the wolf, and then that interaction. That was just a crappy part of the whole film. It was appalling. Look, it could have been cut out, and I wouldn't have made it at all. Did you especially the whole section of inside the wolf, that bit of the film? I know we're going on to characters, but that bit didn't work for me at all. Look, I'm a big believer in if you're going to have a fantasy world and you're going to have people play non-human parts, like Johnny Depp playing the big bad wolf, which, to the best of my knowledge, was the only kind of that role in the film. Everybody else was playing reasonably human parts. To have Johnny Depp playing the big bad wolf just stank of somebody at Disney saying, hey, let's get Johnny Depp into another big film. And this is a perfect role. He can put on some funny makeup. The kids will all laugh. The adults will go, that's that Johnny Depp guy again. But I think the role, as it was in the film, compared to everybody, like when you balance it all out with everybody else, I just don't think it worked. They should have done it differently, be it, I don't know, an actual CG wolf or something, I don't know, a puppet, who knows. But having Johnny Depp play the wolf as a fantasy character, when everybody else is playing a human character, it just didn't work for me. Agree. The other thing I want to talk about really quickly is Chris Pine and Billy Magnuson as the two princes, Rapunzel's prince and Cinderella's prince. Thought they were hilarious. Best part of the film for me. Did they add to the film or take away from the film? No, not really. I thought they worked within the film, but in and of themselves as roles, as caricatures of what they were trying to play, hilarious. The shirt ripping, the tally-ho, the gee, Jolly Roger kind of vibe that they gave off was, well, it brought a smile to my face, and I thought it was the best part of the characters within the film. Michael, what do you think? Definitely. I like the way Anna Kendrick explained it in one of her interviews, where they're the sort of selfie-taking guys that you sort of see a bit these days. It's all about them. And it's just them. It's like, I've got good abs, I've got a good body, have a look at me, oh yeah, I'm amazing. Yeah. Superficial to the extreme. Yeah, and they even explain it, like, I'm Prince Charming, I'm not, they had nothing to do with, I don't want to spoil too much of the movie with some of the bits that happen later on, but definitely they did well. Very good. One of the aspects I really want to talk about in the film is the look and style of the film. Now, when you get cinema money to take a stage play onto the big screen, you've obviously got a lot more latitude with what you can achieve as far as set design, costume design, special effects, all that kind of stuff. Don't get me wrong, Into the Woods looks and sounds amazing. It is fantastic. The sound in the cinema, the music, the singing, awesome. The visual look of the film, the special effects, I couldn't really fault anything. I must admit I was sucked into the world a little bit so that nothing really pulled me out of it. So I have to say that the visual effects, the lighting, the cinematography, the film looked spectacular. So if it doesn't win awards for cinematography and maybe visual effects or something like that, then somebody needs to look again. But for me, film looked fantastic. I guess I was mentioning before about how the whole section with
Johnny Depp as the wolf, and then the granny and Little Red Riding Hood go into the stomach. I felt like that was the big letdown in special effects terms.
Yep.
It's like, you look at the witch and she twirls and there's a tornado there and it looks amazing, and then suddenly you feel like you're just in, like someone's just put a sheet over some girls and have gone, oh, we're in this giant stomach all of a sudden, and you go, that just, I felt really out.
Pulled you out of the movie?
Yeah, that pulled me out there.
Fair
But
point.
apart from that, like the rest, really amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's talk a little bit about the story, because that's probably the thing that didn't work. For me, it didn't work. As we've alluded to, the combination of, you know, fairy story, children's fairy story, admittedly dark children's fairy stories, and the more contemporary adult themes trying to mix didn't quite work. Look, I really wanted to like this film.
So for me, I guess the main issue with the film is, as we're saying, so many good ingredients. You've got the good cast, you've got the good, just different stories, you've got so much potential, you've got Sondheim's amazing musical genius, and somehow all of those just didn't mix very well. It was okay at the start, and if you think of it like you're cooking you're baking a cake, then the first bite, it's really nice, and some juices there and stuff. By the end of it, it's like it's just got this really crusty end, and then it leaves you a bit bitter. So I would say that they could definitely have just mixed all of those different stories together in a different way, and it could have been a much nicer film. So I guess it's lacking potential.
Yeah, no, good point. For me, I thought the film was a good try. It was a full-blown effort. It wasn't a half-hearted effort like On Stranger Tides was. But again, as you say, Nick, for me the film just didn't work. Started strong, floundered around a bit in the middle, and by the end of it I was completely and utterly flummoxed. I just had absolutely no clue as to what I was supposed to be thinking, what journey the characters had been on, what the end result of that was. So for me, much like you, I thought it was very sort of all over the place in terms of story. The tone was dark, and I didn't quite get that after the first probably 5 or 10 minutes when it's all sort of, you know, where they're introducing all the characters. The tone was a bit dark for me, especially considering it was branded as a Disney film. I expected it was a little bit more light, and certainly the ending, I wasn't expecting that. Perhaps I was expecting too much from it. I don't know. I've never seen the stage play, so I went in completely blank slate to this film, so I can only review it based on what I saw coming at me off the screen, and I have to say, I was a little bit disappointed. Yes, the ending could have been better. Yes, there's a number of different casting issues that I thought could have been fixed up, but on the whole, would I see it more than once? Probably not. I'd certainly recommend anybody who's a fan of Sondheim or a fan of the production itself to go and see it. It's certainly worth a look. It looks fantastic, as I said, but on the whole, I thought it was pretty average. Michael, a score out of 10, what are you giving it today?
I'll give it a 7, but just watch it once, and it's definitely not going to be a cult classic. That's mine. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, today I'm giving this film 6 stars. That's all from us. You can visit us on our Facebook page, through the website fernbyfilms.com. You can visit Mike at Grey Phoenix Productions, and check us out on YouTube, all our other videos as well. And we'll see you back here again next time for another video review.